seem in pretty good spirits. I'll step out the way. Actually, you can see the training is going on. They've just actually broken out from a bit of a warm-up, and actually it was all pretty jovial in there. And Arne Slot himself seems in pretty good spirits as well. But you kind of touched on the run, the form that they're in at the moment. Only the second time in the Premier League they've lost 6 of their opening 12 games of a season. Currently 11, well, in fact, down to 12 now, of course, because Everton beat Manchester United last night and went above them in the Premier League table. So 12th in the table and 11 points behind Arsenal currently. They've lost 8 of their last 11 in all competitions, lost 6, as you mentioned, of their last 7 in the Premier League as well, and beaten in 2 of their last 3 home games. And the home form has obviously been such a bedrock of Liverpool's success in the past. Certainly was again last season when they lifted the Premier League title. We've got to remember, of course, in the Champions League, they're in the top 8 at the moment, 3 points off the top, Bayern Munich up there as well after that win over Madrid, but at the same time they need to start finding momentum. We spoke to Liverpool fans around Anfield only yesterday, and it seemed pretty despondent in terms of their title hopes at the moment. I know Graham Souness was speaking about Liverpool's title hopes yesterday as well, and saying that he's not writing them off just yet because anything can happen in a Premier League season. But at the same time, Liverpool really do need to start finding that winning momentum, and it would be nice for them to get that win under the belt against PSV, just consolidate their position in the Champions League at the moment, which obviously they have such history in Europe as well. But at the same time, it's all about getting that momentum, that winning momentum, and taking it up into Christmas now as well.
And they perhaps need to find some more goals as well, Vinny. They've scored 3 in their last 5 games in all competitions. Does Slot persist with Isak up front, or do you think Ekitike could return to the side?
I think it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Isak suffered defeat in each of his first 4 starts for Liverpool. Still just the 1 goal against Southampton in the AFL Cup. And he had that injury against Frankfurt, missed 5 games, returned to the starting lineup against Forest as well. Ekitike at the weekend was back on the bench for the first time since the defeat to Manchester United. He's not actually scored since the win in Frankfurt, and his last Premier League goal was the Merseyside derby on the 20th of September. 1 Premier League goal in his last 9 league games now. And then you look at the rest of that forward line. Cody Gakpo hasn't scored for Liverpool since the win over Frankfurt either. 5 games without a goal now. He was a run of 3-3 prior to that. And Mo Salah, 2 in his last 11 for Liverpool in all competitions. And they came in the defeat to Brentford and the win over Villa. Not the numbers you normally associate with him. Jamie Carragher saying he needs to take responsibility and front up in interviews in much the same way as Virgil van Dijk does. I think given the current struggles, Liverpool fans would be happy if his football is once again doing the talking. But yeah, I think in terms of that forward line as well, it's going to be interesting how Arne Slot juggles it once again, because in essence, not many of them are in good goal-scoring form at the moment.
And there's also been a lot of talk about Ibrahim Konaté's form. He continues to retain his place in the first 11. Do you think that will be the case again tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it will be. He's taken a lot of criticism for Liverpool's failings. He's out of contract in the summer, can talk to foreign clubs in January, of course, as well. And Bakary Sagna was talking about it at the weekend. You know, you can't blame Konaté alone for Liverpool's failings, particularly when you consider that a couple of Forest goals probably came from midfielders not tracking their running as well. I think given the injury problems as well, and we're going to get it out now as well because we're just getting kicked out of training. It is time for us to go.
Liverpool's training ground was full of life as Ekitike, Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Ryan Gravenberch all made their return in a fiery session ahead of the crucial clash with PSV. The intensity was clear from the first whistle: quick movement, sharp finishing and a renewed energy that lifted the entire squad. With their big names back in action, the session felt like a strong statement of intent. The presence of the returning stars brought fresh momentum, with Salah looking hungry in attack, Virgil marshalling the defense with authority, and Ekitike adding flair and dynamism up front. Ryan's creativity in midfield tied everything together as Liverpool pushed through high-tempo drills. The team's rhythm, focus and confidence suggest they are gearing up to face PSV with real determination and a fully charged squad.